This is the newsroom.
This is the newsroom for Wednesday, February 25, 2026. We're broadcasting to you on E1, SKAR TV, NTN, and TARZEE TV in Bartica. In the headlines, vendors at Beefield Sophia were on Wednesday relocated to a newly constructed tarmac within the community to make way for ongoing road widening works. A 49-year-old Corriverton woman is recovering after allegedly being stabbed 12 times by her partner, who was later found dead in an apparent poisoning. Caribbean leaders meeting in St. Kitts are grappling with calls for deeper regional unity amid warnings that political divisions and uneven representation could threaten Caricom's solidarity. The Ministry of Agriculture has launched the Farmers Connect app, a new digital platform designed to help farmers identify pests and diseases, access expert guidance, and receive real-time market and climate information. And in sport, Lady Jags adopt winning mentality ahead of Dominica clash. And Thaddeus Lovell aims for consistency in upcoming 4-day season. With the news, I'm Kirk Campbell. Thank you for joining us. First up, vendors who sell at Beefield Sophia, Georgetown were on Wednesday relocated to facilitate the ongoing road widening project in the area. Public Works Minister Juan Edgell said the relocation will see the vendors being moved to a newly constructed tarmac within the community.
The relocation of vendors who ply their trade at Beefield Sophia commenced on Wednesday. This is to facilitate the construction of a road network there. Behind me is a team constructing one of the vending sheds. In this initial phase, 10 vendors who currently operate between Dennis Street and Payne Lane, the 9th corner, will be moved to a newly constructed tarmac within the community, the one behind me. The Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgell, has assured vendors that it will assist with the physical relocation of their stalls. That was the project that was commenced here today.
As of 12 o'clock, the contractor was adequately engaged with staff to assist in moving, lifting, and moving of the things over. It's going a little slow, and the reason why it's going a little slow is because the stalls were of such a nature that if you try to lift it, because they're not properly put together, everything will collapse. I think there is now a break and remove and re-engage.
This new space offers upgraded facilities, including washrooms, paved walkways, and adequate lighting to improve security.
The assurances that we want to give the people, only persons who were vending when this project started would be allocated space.
The minister also clarified that misconceptions regarding the occupation of government reserves, emphasizing that there are no prescriptive rights on state land and that compensation will not be provided. The relocation exercise aims to ensure a smooth continuation of an ongoing road widening project in Beefield Sophia, while providing the vendors with a safer and more structured space to continue their business. Reporting for the newsroom from Beefield Sophia in Georgetown, I am Lizzie Yearwood.
A Corriverton woman is recovering after sustaining 12 stab wounds allegedly inflicted by her partner, 46-year-old Patrick Singh. Ruth Persaud, a neighbor, recounted the frightening events. She said at about 13:40 hours on Sunday, she was at home with her family when their peace was shattered by screams that initially sounded distant. Moments later, the area fell silent. Persaud said when she looked outside, she saw 49-year-old Olive Thompson of Lot 667, number 76, Housing Scheme, Corriverton, Berbice, staggering towards her home with blood on her clothing. When Thompson reached the house, Persaud assisted her into a vehicle. At the same time, she said Singh was seen leaving the yard on a motorcycle, his clothes stained with a green substance, believed to be poison. Thompson was rushed to the nearby number 75 public hospital, where she received urgent medical attention. Prasad said a report was made to the Springlands police station prompting an investigation. She noted, however, that Thompson did not disclose details of the attack to her. The couple's daughter, Chandra Singh, said she and her siblings were in Rosal Tongue when they received news of the incident. They immediately went to the hospital, where they learned their mother had been attacked inside a bedroom.
I wasn't know whatever happened, right? When I got the call from the neighbor over there, they call and tell me that daddy just stabbed up my mom. He was home, we was heading to my other brother in Rosal. When we head down by the Accra around 1:25, I received the call. When we reached down back, we reached to the hospital first. And that is where I give them the information from my mother's stuff, because I had to sign papers to consider the surgery. The doctor reached me and told me that she could need to do surgery because she got a stop to her liver, and they need it immediately so that they could sign the form that they could proceed with the surgery. Morning, I had to leave to go to the hospital, get to check with my mom, right? Because by the surgeon, we get up and everybody, but we still didn't get no information about the father, nothing, no signs, no nothing. They did not come back. The police did not come back or find out back or investigating the scheme, because we find out that nobody did not, they did not investigate around here, find from neighbors if anybody see, nothing. We went to find out when anybody that see that here and nothing, nobody, that wasn't what them part that they do, right? Anyhow, that was Tuesday morning when I come back from hospital from my mom. I was over there by my neighbor. A person went and told them what happened. So I can't get to see my mother. She's not fully stable. She can't talk because she got 12 stabs. She's 12 stabs, right? And so I was over there. My sister was over there talking to my neighbor, and then was preparing to go and look again for daddy because he wasn't coming. That was going on at 9-10 o'clock time. So we said we're gonna go again and start looking for him. When I do receive the news, my cousin called me, and she said that they went look and they look a whole morning before because they went down to the we were looking to, and them see till down at the back, the last bridge, at the new scheme down till at the back there, and she said they find him. And then she said I thought them find him dead. The day when we leave here, the plan was for us to go beach when we come back, everybody. Because we leave him in the hammock and she was inside. And they said that we just had to go and drop off something when we got up in Rosal and come down back. And they said we go in beach. And we leave, everything was normal, not argument, no nothing.
Caribbean leaders are gathered in St. Kitts with a historic show of unity. Every full Caricom member state represented in one room for the first time in over a decade. But behind the applause at the bloc's 50th Heads of Government meeting, a harder question is surfacing. Can the region truly act together as political and foreign policy divisions widen? New Caricom Chair Dr. Terence Drew is calling for what he describes as a strategic unity, not just between countries, but within them. He says regional security, energy independence, food resilience, and humanitarian crises are shared burdens, warning that instability in one state threatens all. But Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Besessar delivered a pointed reminder: solidarity cannot be selective. She raised concerns about uneven representation within Caricom and cautioned against political interference across borders, arguing that unity must be fair, accountable, and inclusive. As leaders confront crises in Cuba, Venezuela, and Haiti, the question now facing the Caribbean community is clear. Can sovereignty and shared responsibility truly coexist, or is it regional variation becoming fragmentation? Here's a look at the push for togetherness and the tensions testing it.
That the Caricom should be the voice for all, not just for the governing parties, not just for those in the Caribbean who form government parties, And so I'd ask you, we have to chart a way forward. Yes, we won our elections. Yes, we are the majority parties, all of us here, all the heads. But we were all in opposition once. And we may all be in opposition again. But we must work together for all of our nations, all our citizens, whether they belong to the governing party or whether they belong to the opposing parties. So that, I say, still concerns me. How one of my citizens was kidnapped in another Caricom state, and when I inquired, the Secretariat could not give me an answer up to today. That should never happen. Caricom as an organization should not be misused by anyone to benefit or protect political parties and friends affiliated with the incumbent government.
Accordingly, a world without Caricom would be culturally poorer, intellectually diminished, and spiritually less vibrant. Just imagine a world without Caricom. It definitely would not be the same. Our integration was neither accidental or causal. It was formalized through the Treaty of Chaguaramas and the revised treaty. That treaty was not merely a document. It was a declaration of Caribbean confidence. It was grounded in cooperation, functional integration, economic coordination, and collective self-reliance. Those guiding principles are not simply historical markers. Rather, they are living instruments that must guide our conduct today. We must never, ever forget our foundational principles.
We are not bound to a single foreign policy. Different member states can cultivate different diplomatic, commercial, and strategic relationships. Rather than viewing this as fragmentation, we should recognize it as opportunity. Multiple points of engagement in a complex global system that can collectively enhance the region's resilience, influence, and optionality. No single Caribbean state can build scale across these domains alone, but together we can pool talent, align standards, develop digital public infrastructure to enhance productivity, inclusion, and resilience. Success will, however, require deep engagement, information sharing, and collaboration with each other. It will require true enhanced cooperation.
The Minister of Agriculture on Wednesday launched the Farmers Connect app to give farmers real-time tools to protect their crops and boost their harvest. The app helps identify pests and crop diseases, connects farmers to experts, and provides markets and climate information, all from a smartphone.
Trishwanti Prasad, a farmer from Bartica, East Bank, Essequibo, knows all too well the challenges of protecting a backyard garden. She is now among the first farmers in Guyana to benefit from a new digital tool designed to help tackle exactly these problems.
I think it's a good app. I'm excited about it actually because sometimes there are some stuff I'm not fully knowledgeable about everything. And sometimes you come across some stuff that you're not aware of. So I think the app will help in that way. I'm married and my husband never wanted me to go work. So it was always a kitchen garden we started off with. So it's like that, kitchen garden. I have 4 children. My kids are all in school, right? So I'm home and nothing to do. So the yard is there, so I make much of it. I plant. And then the neighbor next door have an empty lot, so I plant that as well.
One of the app's key features is an integrated artificial intelligence system that allows farmers to upload photos of insects or diseased crops and receive immediate guidance. Beyond pest identification, the Farmers Connect app offers direct access to extension officers for advice on best practices, crop health, and pest management.
They say you can flash your stuff, like if you have insects or, a disease or anything, so you can put it on the app and you would get a response right away. So you'd be able to save your crop in the long run. Sometimes you plant your stuff good, and then all of a sudden you see different stuff on them. You plant, the things come in healthy 1 minute, then in the community, 1 and 2 person farm have a disease and it spread quickly. So I think with this here now, as soon as you see something on your farm, you would be able to control it.
The Farmers Connect app, launched Wednesday by the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the National Data Management Authority, also allows farmers to identify pests, receive advice from extension officers, and access real-time market and climate information, all from their phone.
The Farmer Connect, as you heard, the Farmers Connect app is designed to close long-standing gaps in information, communication, and market access. For too long, farmers have faced challenges accessing real-time pricing, receiving timely advisory services, and connecting efficiently with buyers and support agencies. This app will change that. To our extension officers, I want you to embrace this platform. Use it consistently. Respond promptly to farmers' needs. Allow it to enhance your service to farmers in every region. And now we will know if you visit the farmers or not. And to our farmers across Guyana, you who are important, download it. Before you leave, if you can, if you have your smartphone, I'll ask the agriculture officers who are here to help you to download it. Use it regularly. Report your challenges, request assistance, and take full advantage of the tool designed to improve your productivity and livelihood.
The Farmers Connect app is now available on the Google Play Store and via the Ministry's website and social media pages by scanning a QR code. For the newsroom, Shard Bacchus.
The Repair Campaign, a social movement for reparatory justice in the Caribbean, hopes to galvanize more support for the cause and will be doing so with a Black History Month march on Friday, February 27. More when the newsroom returns. Welcome back to the newsroom. The Repair campaign, a social movement for reparatory justice in the Caribbean, hopes to galvanize more support for the cause and will be doing so with a Black History Month march on February 27th, this Friday. In an interview with the newsroom, community organizer Kibwe Copeland reminded Guyanese that enslavement was a crime against humanity and urged persons of all walks of life to support the march and the call for reparatory justice. In the Caribbean, calls for reparations became more formalized in 2013 when the Caribbean Reparations Committee, CRC, was established. Renowned academic Sir Hilary Beckles has chaired the commission, and a 10-point plan for reparatory justice was subsequently launched. This plan articulates the need for reparatory justice for people in the Caribbean, and the 10 points are a full and formal apology, reparation to Africa, the development of cultural institutions, addressing the public health crisis, illiteracy eradication, the development of an African knowledge program, psychological rehabilitation, technology transfer, and debt cancellation.
So on Friday, on the 27th of this month, the last Friday, we have a Black History Month march. Now we know we're in February, and February is of course officially Black History Month, mostly celebrated in the US, but of course we've adopted that same stance globally. And that event, of course, is a march that we did last year, actually, the Mayor City Council. We had 150 persons who marched from City Hall, High Street to Brick Dam, back to King Street into the City Hall compound. And we had a program. This year, we're doing the same thing, just as the collaboration between the Mayor City Council and the Repair campaign. The aim this time is to move from City Hall to Parade Ground and back to City Hall, whereby we have a formal and cultural program afterwards. We should dive into basically African history, reparations, and especially the first point, which speaks to a full and formal apology, and what the Repair campaign is doing in Guyana. We talk about the transatlantic slave trade. People of African descent were enslaved for a period of years, whether 400 in Guyana was 215 years, and reparations basically speaks to how those who would have benefited from slavery, whether it be through monetary gains, whether it be through their structures, etc., to repay. And the repayment is not only for monetary. There is a monetary aspect. There is support towards psychological rehabilitation, support towards repatriation, which means going back to the land, motherland, and of course have the systems to, to welcome persons. It speaks to education. How do we break the barriers for education, people of African descent? Because we understand how slavery would have affected us in a holistic way. So reparations basically speaks to how do we repair? How do we repair those damages? And reparations, which might seem to be just an African issue, slavery was a crime against humanity. And it's something that once you're against crimes against humanity, you're for reparations, right? It speaks to not only how Black people or African people see themselves, but how other people, whether it be Indians, Chinese, Portuguese, etc. We've all had our own struggles when it comes to the past with colonial powers. Africans came with enslavement, Indians, Chinese, and Portuguese came through indentureship, and of course indigenous people through the lands, which dealt with genocide, indigenous genocide across the Caribbean. So it's a movement, of course, that touches and crosses different ethnicities. It is a clear understanding that it is a crime against humanity. So moving forward now to the Black History Month March, one, it brings a level of significance. We are acknowledging Black history, which enslavement is a part of Black history, not the best part of Black history, but it is a part of Black history that we must acknowledge. It gives persons a chance to come together and to walk for that particular cause. We go to Parade Ground, which is very significant, to 1823, that revolt, the largest non-violent revolt in this country, in this hemisphere actually. And we are also going to launch this campaign as how we're going to build a momentum. We're going to connect with persons, trying to basically build a database for reparation.
At the opening of the Guyana Police Force Annual Inspectors Conference, Minister of Home Affairs Onej Waldron on Wednesday delivered a decisive charge to inspectors, making it clear that 2026 will be a year of accountability, performance, and zero tolerance for corruption. For 2026, Waldron charged inspectors with providing active and visible supervision across their units, consistently enforcing discipline, improving response times, and increasing patrol coverage.
2026, modern policing looks like a station that rejects corruption. Corruption is not a minor breach. It is a national security threat and will be treated that way in 2026. Zero tolerance for bribery, collusion, abuse of authority, or neglect of duty. Corruption survives where supervision is weak. Once again, the buck stops with you, the inspectors. So in 2026, my charge to you, the inspectors, that you're expected to deliver visible, active supervision. You're expected to deliver daily enforcement of discipline. You're expected to deliver improved response times and patrol coverage. Court-ready case files. And if you're not sure what that means, if you're unsure, we need to fix that. That ultimately reflects very poorly on the Guyana Police Force when you turn up in court ready, not ready, where your case files are not done well. You're expected to deliver consistent traffic management, proactive disruption of organized crime, professional public engagement, protection of vulnerable people and vulnerable communities. You're expected to deliver in 2026 zero tolerance and protection of our national development assets. Budget 2026 provides these resources. The National Security Strategy provides the framework. The President has provided the direction. What remains is execution, and execution rests with you. Performance will not be measured in effort, it will be measured in results.
Rotary District 730 Governor Soraya Warner Gustave is currently in Guyana for 6 days to better assess the community service efforts of local clubs. Warner Gustave, the first St. Lucian woman to hold this position, told the newsroom that during her visit she will meet with local leaders, youth groups, and volunteers to better understand the work being done on the ground. She's accompanied by the Assistant Governor, Rafi Kasim, who oversees the local work. Rotary District 730 brings together over 2,400 Rotarians in 77 clubs across 17 countries and territories throughout the Southern Caribbean.
The district governor has responsibility for oversight of the Rotary clubs within the district, and that oversight extends to understanding the club governance that exists across our clubs, understanding the community impacts that our clubs are making in their various jurisdictions and areas, and generally motivating and inspiring our clubs and our members to continue the important work of Rotary. It is really to assess, right, the strength of the Rotary clubs. As I indicated earlier, the impacts that these clubs are making within the communities, because we are about service and we are about community development, right? And we want our clubs to understand the community needs of a particular environment and provide as much support as possible. The clubs are very passionate, very deeply rooted in service here in Guyana. And very shortly you will hear from our Assistant Governor, who is the Rotary's representative here in Guyana, who will speak to a few of the projects that our clubs are involved in. But as you rightly indicated, in preparation for my visit, I did have an opportunity to review some of the projects, right, that all of the three groups that I mentioned are involved with, right? And so it's not even just about Rotary, but it's about what our Rotaractors are doing. They too are immersed in service and giving back to the community.
Sometimes our work go unnoticed. Sometimes we don't have the amount of or the spread that we actually deserve for the work we do here in Guyana. I would want to start out with one of our club, Rotary Club Demerara. They have done one of the biggest project this year, which is the cervical cancer screening in the Rupununi. And that's one of the things that we need to talk about in Rotary Guyana, is the need assessment and how we go about doing projects. So most of the projects start with a need assessment. Rotary Club Demerara have gone to the Rupununi and have done cervical cancer, diabetes testing, dental work. So that's one of our major projects for Rotary Guyana. One of the other projects is Rotary Club of Garden City have gone to Yarra Cabra, which which is on the Linden Highway. They've done a shade tunnel. They're now planting tomatoes, celery, those kind of crops, and for use by the community. And the community also, with surplus, can sell and have an income. And if you were to go to Borby's, New Amsterdam, Rotary Club New Amsterdam have been doing water and sanitation projects for the last 5 years. This year they've even upped the game. They're now installing fountains in schools, and they're providing water bottles as well for kids. Rotary Club of UG, they partnered with the government this year in a health, they call it the health bridge. I think it was with the vouchers, and they went in the communities to ensure people got tested. We know the government had a $10,000 voucher, so they actually collaborated with the government. Like you must know, in Rotary, we always partner, or we try to partner with government and other NGOs. Our projects are based on the need assessment, and sometimes yes, you can go to the end and do an assessment, or put things in numbers and say yes, you had an impact of 5 out of 10 and 7 out of 10, and sometimes no, you can't do that. You can't do those things. But yes, if you go into communities, you will definitely see the difference that we make.
When the newsroom returns to financial, weather and bridge reports, along with sport news with Avinash Ramzan. That's it for me, Kurt Campbell.
Welcome back to Newsroom. Now for a look at what's happening in sport. We're starting us off with some football news. Guyana suffered a 3-2 defeat to host nation Curaçao on Tuesday evening when Group D action of the CONCACAF Under-20 qualifiers commenced in Willemstad. Guyana took an early lead when Brian Wharton netted in the 8th minute. Demiantli Bernardina then converted for Curaçao from the penalty spot in the 20th minute to level the game. Davy Busby would then turn the game around for Curaçao in the 34th minute, curling the ball into the back post from inside the box. Bernardina secured his brace in the 68th minute with a tap-in from close range to make it 3-1 in favor of the host nation before Reese Paris shortened the deficit for Guyana in the 90th minute on a set-piece situation. In the other Group D game, St. Vincent and the Grenadines defeated Anguilla 6-0. And the Lady Jags are targeting a critical victory against Dominica on Friday in the CONCACAF Women's Qualifiers. The Guyanese side, currently third in their qualifying group, must rebound from a 3-1 defeat to Nicaragua in December. They face bottom-of-the-table Dominica at the National Track and Field Center with kickoff scheduled for 20 hours. The match represents a significant hurdle in a complex qualification path. Only the winners of the 6 qualifying groups will progress to the 8-team CONCACAF Women's Championship, where they will join the United States and Canada. That final tournament serves as the primary gateway for both the FIFA Women's World Cup Brazil 2027 and the 2028 Los Angeles Summer Olympics. According to forward Annalisa Vincent, there is a winning mentality among the Lady Jags group.
So what's the mood in the camp like as you prepare for that qualifier on Friday?
I think it's really fun right now. The girls are getting along very well, and you know, we come out here on the second campaign and we come with a mentality to win. And I think that everyone's been working hard. We're putting in the work because, you know, the second game is really important on Friday.
Yeah, just tell me about the confidence levels in this group. Some fresh faces, but also some persons who've been around quite a while in this setup.
Like I said, the addition to the team, like some of them that they haven't been here for a long time, but I've seen them around. They're really good players, and it's a really good addition to the team.
And for you though, how do you handle the pressure of expectation? A lot of Guyanese resonate with you well, you're a popular name, and there's always expectation that you're going to do something special for for Guyana when you run?
Like I've always said, I take one game at a time. Whatever the game brings to me, that's what I put out on the field. For me, there's not really any pressure because it's football, and it's you play whatever you see on the field, and that's about it. The energy in the camp is really high, and like I stated, is that we come out here to win. This is a very important game for us, and everyone came out here to work, and we need that win on Friday.
Cricket news now. Winning at this stage of the T20 World Cup is at the forefront for West Indies, says skipper Shea Hope. The two-time champions, unbeaten after 4 group games and the opening Super 8 encounter, take on South Africa on Thursday morning from 5:30. In their last game against Zimbabwe, West Indies piled up to 54 for 6, the highest total of this World Cup, and the second highest overall behind Sri Lanka's 260 in 2007. Hope, at the post-match press conference, was quizzed on whether West Indies were aiming to break that record.
Well, those things are being back in my mind, yes, but it's not something to really focus on. You want to get the win. This is the stage of the tournament where you're more focused on playing your best cricket. If you do happen to get past those milestones, then you talk about it at the end and guys will congratulate each other. But it's definitely not at the forefront. You never go out to bat thinking, okay, I want to score 275 or 350 in a T20 game. It's just about getting as many runs as you possibly can and putting the opposition under pressure. And I think the first question, I just believe the way we've been playing it certainly gives us a lot of confidence. And like I always say, we've got to stay in the moment. Yes, we've played well to this stage, but again, we've got another game in a few days, and we got to make sure we turn up on that day again. So great start, great confidence booster, but those games are gone. We got to look ahead now. We've got South Africa next and then India after. So we got to keep playing our best cricket. If we can get better, continue getting better. If we're doing what we're doing well, continue doing it.
And co-hosts Sri Lanka are out of the T20 World Cup after collapsing to a 61-run defeat by New Zealand in Colombo. Needing to win to keep their semi-final hopes alive, Sri Lanka looked to be in control late into the New Zealand's innings, having restricted them to 98 for 6 after 16 overs. However, the bowlers crumbled in the face of a late surge from Mitch Santner with 47 from 26 and Cole McConty with 31 not out from 23, and New Zealand bludgeoned 70 from the final 4 overs. A chase of 169 left the game in the balance, but Sri Lanka's top order folded, with fast bowler Matt Henry taking 2 wickets in the power play. From there, the home side failed to generate any momentum, and when Rachin Ravindra had both Kusal Mendes and Pawan Ratnayake stumped in the 9th over, Sri Lanka were 29 for 4 and the game was up. Left-arm spinner Ravindra, who made 32 from 22 balls with the bat, took a 4th of 2 wickets to end with figures of 4 for 27, while Henry was afforded the rest of the night off after taking 2 for 3 from his 2 overs, as Sri Lanka dragged themselves to 107 for 8. On the local scene, promising all-rounder Thaddeus Lovell is targeting a breakthrough season as he looks to cement his place in the Guyana Harpy Eagles squad and bridge the challenging gap between youth and first-class cricket. Lovell, a seam bowling all-rounder with 2 first-class caps to his name, is under no illusions about the steep learning curve required at a professional level. Having tasted senior regional cricket, the youngster has identified consistency as the primary currency for survival in a competitive Guyana Harpy Eagles squad. While his pace bowling initially caught the selectors' eyes, Lovell is determined not to be pigeonholed as a specialist. There is a concerted effort to polish what observers describe as a glaring batting talent with the aim of becoming a genuine lower middle order threat.
2 matches last season, Thaddeus. How do you reflect on the experiences you would have gained of playing for Guyana and how much you're looking to hopefully add to those 2 matches in 2026?
The experience is very great. The step up from being under 19. So I expect giving more to the team than I did last year and taking more wickets or taking wickets.
Talk about that quickly, that step up you made. You know, for some guys, it takes a while to understand the move from under 19 to senior cricket. What was the transition like?
It took me by surprise at the level that it is at. I wasn't expecting that high of a level, but I'm sure this year I could groove into that level and play and actually contribute to the team.
Yeah, what's the advice you've been getting about the things you need to improve to be an even more potent fast bowler?
More consistency and work on my line and length at a certain time of the game. and just keep on poking away and keep challenging the batsman defense all the time.
And just quickly, Taddy, many people don't remember or like to believe that you're a good batsman as well. Tell us about how much work you're putting in that regard to show that you're also a quality batsman at the low order as well.
Yeah, I could actually contribute to the bats. I was a batsman before, but I like the bowling now. I could still put up my hand and say, yeah, I could hold a bat and make a couple runs and so.
And finally, with a Jamaican franchise set to rejoin the Caribbean Premier League this year, Jamaican stars Andre Russell, Rovman Powell, and Brandon King are being lined up for a homecoming as new owners Kingsmen Sports Enterprise prepare to challenge for the title immediately. The 2026 season, set to run from early August to September 20th, will mark the return of a Jamaican franchise after a 2-year absence following the successful takeover by United States-based Kingsmen, owned by Pakistani-born businessman Fawad Sarwar. Kingsmen will have to build a squad from scratch as most of the players who represented the Talawas in the past have moved on to other teams, which include Russell, Powell, and King. Two-time T20 World Cup winner Russell left the Talawas ahead of the 2022 season to join the Trinbago Knight Riders, where he won the title last season. West Indies T20 mid-order batsman Powell, who guided the Talawas to the title in 2022, has captained the Barbados Royals for the last 3 seasons, while West Indies T20 vice-captain King, who led the Talawas in 2023 before their hiatus, also played for the Royals in 2025, having joined the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons in 2024. And with that, we've come to the end of the news for this evening. Of course, you can find updates on these and other stories on our website, newsroom.gy, and all social media platforms. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for watching. Be safe. See you next time.